It's like the news, but for nerds. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Nerdvengers, it is Josh, and this is your Nerdy News Rundown for Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. Lighter news day today. We do want to talk about how Thor Love and Thunder has apparently wrapped, and some cool comments made by Taika Waititi about that crazy movie. There's also a bit of news about the Incredible Hulk and the possibility of Marvel getting the rights back to the Hulk. But first, we begin with a story so bizarre that it must be true. There is an actual United States court that is making a ruling, and within the documentation for this ruling is precedent that would set it legally that the sequel trilogy is bad and shoddy Star Wars. Now, before you cheer, yell, or cry, or whatever your reaction would be, let's talk about what the actual report is. I saw this pop up on prequel memes, meaning I knew it had to be true. And if you're looking at this image here, this is from a Ninth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, and it says here, according to the Prequel Memes post, that it has declared the sequel trilogy mediocre and scholarly. Unless the decision is overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court, it is now law in the USA that the sequel films are bad. So, I looked at this thing, and here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. It is an actual United States court case. It is actually real, and this means that, without looking too far into all the fancy words and all the things that were in the thing and trying to fully explain it, look, don't worry about that, because it doesn't matter if you read it on YouTube or you hear a YouTuber talk about it. It has to be 100% real. It is now legal that the sequel trilogy was bad.
My lord, is that legal?
I will make it legal.
Okay. In all seriousness, what does this exactly mean? It is something from an official appeals case, and they are actually using this. Basically, as best I can tell, this is some kind of an argument about companies and promises about companies and actually making the correct product. And I think one of these companies got screwed, and it's a class action lawsuit about all of these different people that took a big loss because they were invested in this company that lied or something like that. I'm not a legal scholar at all, but that's the best I could work with by my goldfish level of attention span and the reality that this story is probably not real at all. Having said that, it is a real court case, and the example given in this documentation does actually literally say and actually make reference to the fact that the sequel trilogy films are considered mediocre and scholarly. What does this word mean? This word is an adjective, and it is meaning of inferior quality, cheap, or shoddy. I knew it was shoddy. Anyway, the deal is this. During one of the opinion pieces of a person that's involved with the case, they talk about and they try to lay out for the court what their whole deal is, why this thing is a problem, and they basically say that George Lucas making the promise that there will be no more Star Wars films that are mediocre or shoddy after selling to a company like Disney, it sort of invalidates the promise that he would make because he's not really actually involved in the process, and it would be a false promise, as evidenced by the fact that The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker are both mediocre and shoddy. And I find it ironic because as much as it's being held up by the prequel memes community, and don't come for me, prequel memes community, because I really do like the prequel memes community, but as much as they're sort of holding this up and saying, like, hey, it says in here that the films are shoddy, if you really look into the example that's being given, it's actually kind of suggesting that the prequel films were shoddy, and therefore George Lucas saying he'll never make another shoddy film like he did with the prequels is an invalid promise, because then he wasn't involved, and then Disney created The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi. And so actually it's kind of legally determined in this document that George Lucas made some shoddy Star Wars films, and indeed Disney did as well. And it is kind of funny because there's literally a footnote down here that says, as evidenced by Disney's production of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, look, take it for what you will. It's just a fun story. It's a light news day. What do you want from me? Moving on. Let's now talk about this interesting story about how Disney Plus in Spain is apparently finally getting the Incredible Hulk. I found this popping up on the Direct. It says here a post on the Marvel Studios Studios subreddit has confirmed the upcoming addition of The Incredible Hulk to Spain's Disney Plus library on Friday, June 4th. This information was also shared in a tweet posted by the official Spanish Disney Plus Twitter account. Here it is right here, the image. And they go on to say in the direct article, now obviously different countries and regions have different streaming deals with various studios and distributors in place, which results in widely different available content on Disney Plus and around the globe. What's more is that the streaming rights to The Incredible Hulk belong to Sony in Spain. Could this be an early sign of Spider-Man deal that was recently struck between Sony and Disney at work? With Sony's two solo Spider-Man movies arriving soon on the platform thanks to the very same deal, could the United States be the next country to receive The Incredible Hulk? Time will tell, as nothing specific has been heard yet, but it's of course worth noting that Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and The Incredible Hulk would complete the MCU roster on Disney Plus and make the entirety of the Infinity Saga available to stream in one place. And so, very cool little story. We've also heard over the past 6 to 9 months a couple of different rumors and reports pop up making mention of the fact that there is a rumor or a report out there that Marvel Studios has the Hulk distribution rights back from Universal. This was a big thing that was preventing Marvel from ever doing a solo Hulk movie, and there was some speculation that they could actually still do a solo Hulk Disney Plus show, as that would not interfere with the distribution rights, but who knows exactly. I find it very interesting as well that Spain Disney Plus rights for the Hulk were held by Sony. What an interesting thing. Didn't really know that, but again, signs that the massive deal struck between Disney and Sony about their distribution, the same one that is bringing the two Spider-Man Sony films with Tom Holland to Disney Plus. Yeah, that deal was a big part of different things that are happening in the nerdy world right now. This thing happening in Spain being one of them, and who knows, maybe Sony was able to work something out with Universal in some kind of trifecta deal to indeed affect the fact that the Incredible Hulk movie could now be played on Disney Plus. And we can't really confirm that The Incredible Hulk will be coming to Disney Plus in America, as this is just a Sony thing, a Spain thing for now, but it could potentially hint at this deal being worked out. And I would absolutely love if the entirety of the Infinity Saga was available on Disney Plus, and I'm sure Disney would love that as well, and they'd love to be able to market that and advertise that and just talk about how that's like the one place where you get the whole Infinity Saga. And man, that would be pretty cool. It'd be something to celebrate as a Marvel fan. So, this is a little bit of a developing story, so we'll keep our eye on it, but that is the news about the Hulk. Now let's finish up with the fact that it would appear that principal photography has wrapped on Thor, Love, and Thunder. This is due to a social media post by Taika Waititi himself. Here's the photo right here, and it's making the rounds, and it's shocking people simply because, yeah, Chris Hemsworth looks beyond jacked. It looks like his left arm there is about the size of a whole Robert Pattinson Batman. And Taika said this in his Instagram post. He said, and that's a wrap on Thor, Love, and Thunder. Sometimes two people come together to inspire the world and change the cinematic landscape forever. And then there's me and Chris Hemsworth, who are too cool to care about anything except making movies that bring people absolute joy. Okay, I don't look cool. I know that. This film is the craziest thing I've ever done, and I'm honored to bust my ass and have a nervous breakdown so you can all see it in May of 2022. Okay, first of all, just freaking amazing that they've already wrapped Love and Thunder. We've been hearing a lot of different things and seeing set photographs over the past couple of months coming out of where they were filming, I believe over in Australia. I'm sure there'll still be some punch-ups, maybe some stuff shot on a volume, maybe even some scheduled reshoots. But the fact that this film is coming out in May of 2022, and the fact that Taika's teasing that it's going to be a crunch, he's going to have a nervous breakdown in order to get it done, it just gets me really, really excited for the movie. And Taika has said not only that he's just like super excited about this movie, even that post he made about, just creating this bombastic, craziest film he's ever made. Well, he said stuff in the past about how he thinks this is the best MCU movie ever. And Taika is on an absolute roll as a creative and as a brand. He's been doing all these amazing deals. He's doing the Star Wars movie. Taika Waititi is just killing it. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what he has in store for us for Love and Thunder, but awesome that the movie is wrapped. Awesome that it's on track for release next year. And I think we're going to very easily forget about this year off and maybe some of these Marvel shows that didn't hit perfectly for everybody. I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying to do better and get more excited about the future. Let's go. But in all seriousness, when you think about some of the juicy stuff that we have coming, how can you not just get excited to do some nerd vengeance out there in these streets? And that is going to do it for our Nerdy News Rundown for today. Make sure you're checking out the live streaming channel. If you haven't been checking out the live streaming channel, guys, it's a lot of our dope content goes down over there. We do the Nerd Venture members, the Nerd Venture hangouts. It's just a very good time over on the live streaming channel. Make sure you are checking that out. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.